recovering your old foundation is actually pretty easy. You just need to be able to apply the wax in the right way. So it's really one of those kind of necessary parts of beekeeping where you have wax and you've got it kind of hanging around, don't know what to do with it. Well, one of the best things that you can actually do with your wax is you can save it, and then when it's time to re-wax your plastic foundations, you have wax that's ready to go. We have done this over the years and added wax to foundation to recover it, and it is one of those, it's a great task to do in the winter because it takes a little bit of time. It's hard to do in the season, so if you have foundation that needs extra wax or you need to re-wax it, it's a great fall winter activity. So in order to kind of do it, you just need some clean beeswax. It doesn't have to be beautiful yellow beeswax like this. It can be old broodcomb wax. It can be the dark stuff because you're putting it back onto the foundation and the bees are going to use it. But there's a couple things that you need to have to make this whole process a little bit easier. And we've done it a few different ways, and this is kind of like our favorite way to do it for like kind of like small scale. You need to be able to melt the wax using some type of pot that you can control the temperature. We have used brushes before, and we've used rollers. And this is actually kind of our favorite. So this is a 6-inch foam roller with a brush, and it is helpful to have 2 of these. You can have like one that's kind of soaking in the pot and then one that you're using, and you just alternate it back and forth. But this is actually a sheet of foundation that had extremely small amounts of wax on it. And in order to get the bees to build up draw out the comb, we actually had to add more wax to it. So if you don't know plastic foundation, it's not all created equal. So at Foxhound, we sell double coated acorn foundation. It already has a lot of wax on it. It actually has 1 ounce of wax for a deep sheet and about 2/3 of an ounce for a medium sheet of black foundation. But if you're buying really cheap foundation, plastic foundation online or from a source that doesn't tell you how much wax is on it, you probably need to add more wax, and you'd use the same technique. So in a lot of these frames, what we're doing is this is wax moth damaged foundation. So this is comb that was inside the hive and there was a dead out, which means the colony died. And before we could take the foundation of the boxes apart and put them in storage, wax moths got in there and destroyed all the comb. The nice thing about plastic foundation is wax moths will not destroy it. You can get it down to, or they can destroy the comb but not the foundation, and you can use a hive tool. Don't need to use a pressure wash or anything like that. You can use a hive tool and just scrape all that off. And in the fall, you just do this task where you just take the foam roller, put it in your pot, let it soak up the wax, and just roll wax right onto it. You can see like little bits of debris on the side there, and you don't need to scrape all this stuff off. It can have some old web, it can have some old comb on it. There's nothing wrong with doing that. But you would just kind of add more wax to it. And you can see it's got a nice little heavy coat. More is better to an extent, but you don't want to really like overdo it. Just to kind of give you an idea, like I said, like an ounce of wax for a deep sheet. You don't really need 2 ounces on there. There is a difference between fresh wax and old wax. Wax does kind of change over time. And so if you have some really old foundation, let's say like years old, and you haven't given it to your bees, that wax is going to be kind of hard. And if you want your bees to draw it out quickly, even with feeding them syrup, you may need to actually add some new wax or something about it being kind of like fresh and soft and malleable or something like that, where the bees are they're going to draw it out a lot quicker. You notice that I kind of get the middle and the top of those frames. So that's the important part. You don't have to get every single square inch because the bees will actually move the wax around where they need it. So just focus on the side of the foundation that is close to the top bar and the middle, and get a good coating on there, and your bees will draw it out pretty quickly. So I think that There is, you know, based on how much I'm putting on here, there's about an ounce or so of wax I'm probably putting on these medium sheets. But you can see there's all kinds of frames here, and I like these foam rollers because they really do soak up a lot of that wax, and you don't have to kind of like keep redoing it over and over again. Much better than paintbrush. So thanks for watching. You got any questions, send us a message, and we'll do our best.